So has your sport glide got this issue? Stick around and find out. Roll the intro. Hi and welcome to another video, and today's video is a little bit of a moaning video, which is unusual, but if you've been watching my videos you'd know I had an issue with my suspension to start with. I found the rear shock, I thought it was just completely oversprung for somebody of my weight, 70 odd kilos, and the ride was really harsh, really harsh. I took it back to the dealership. They tested it, they said it was fine, and it was just basically, it just made the bike uncomfortable. So against my better judgment, I upgraded the suspension, front and rear, to progressive suspension, the 465 wrap on the back, and they're dropping into front into forks springs, and I've got to be honest, as soon as I had that done I thought, yep, this is better, this certainly is better, and I thought that was the issue resolved. However, as I've continued riding, it still is certainly better than it was before, but I still feel the shock, especially at the back, is underperforming. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice, and this is quite a soft road surface, being M25. There's no real potholes or major divots I'm going over, just normal imperfections in the road, and yeah, it's still quite firm. So I've been doing some research, and I've looked at Revelator Alf and Ride for Days and various other channels, and it appears that it's quite a common issue, especially with the Sport Glide, where the swing arm bearings haven't been seated correctly in construction at the Harley Davidson factory. And I followed their advice and looked at it. Revelator Alf says if you can actually see if it's seated correctly by looking round by the exhaust area and putting the wires out, and you can see the swing arm bearing there, and it should just be protruding a little bit. Now I'm looking and all I can see is swing arm bearing. I'm not seeing any edge of it, so that's made me think, yep, I think we have got an issue here. So I've also obviously jumped up and down on the suspension. It moves, it does move, I'm not going to lie, but I still think it's too harsh for this type of bike. And look at that, look up there, there's all the helicopters, the military helicopters. Today is Trooping the Colour in London, and there have been flybys and stuff like that, and you can see up ahead you've got all the military helicopters, I'm assuming, coming back from that. They're everywhere. So yeah, and we're getting a little bit of a bottleneck now because people are looking up, so I should stop. Anyway, so going back, all I can see is the swing arm bearing, and I've been jumping up and down on this suspension, and yeah, it moves, but not as much as it should, I don't think. And that's me just not to put my body weight, but really forcing it down. I've also tried to set the sag on my rear shock, and I got my son to help me, and he said when I actually sit on the bike from unladen to laden, there's very little movement in the shock. Now I know the rear shock should have quite a bit of play. I think it's around 3.5 inches, 3.5, 4 inches. So I know I'm not heavy, but I think you said it is around about ½ an inch it moved, maybe 3/4 of an inch. So I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it and it's not an issue, and this is how the suspension should be. But I have test ridden other Harley Davidson Softails, and the suspension is certainly more plush than this. So I got in contact with my dealership, Harley Davidson in Sykes, and as usual, fantastic service. The bike is due in 10 days time to have service done, and I'm going to have one more mod, which I'm really excited about, and there will be future videos on that, so keep your eyes peeled on that. I'm not going to tell you what it is and ruin the surprise, but I'm glad to say it's going to be quite a good one for us, and something that I've searched the internet for, and I can't find any real feedback on it from a sport glide point of view, so yeah, stick around for that, but I digress. So I spoke to Harley Davidson, and the bike now is 2 years and 1 week old. So I contacted them about this and said, while it's in, can you look at these swing arm bearings, because I personally think that the rear suspension isn't what it should be, and I've got a feeling that they might be seized. And also, as the bike is just 2 years old, I played a little bit dumb, said it's coming up to 2 years old, then surely this should be covered under the warranty. So they came back to me and said, look, they've looked at it, the warranty expired a week ago, but they know that obviously I have been talking about the suspension for some time, from the outset really. I think one of the first conversations I've had with the dealership after I broke the bike home is the suspension meant to be that hard, does it break in? So they know I've had that, and they said I'm sure they can do something with it, and they'll look at it on my warranty, which is fantastic, because to really look at it you need to take the rear wheel off and have a look at those swing arm bearings, so they're going to do that at the same time. So yeah, obviously this is just a video telling you about what this potential issue is, and it is more widespread than you would think. Now I've come across this issue, I've been doing more research, and there certainly seems to be quite a few sport glides that have this issue out of the factory. So just heads up really, if you own a sport glide and you feel your suspension isn't what it should be, especially on the rear, have a look at Revelator Ralph's video. I'll link that up here if I can, or put it in the description, and he tells you go and Ride for Days, and they'll tell you how to go about checking that out, because it may well be that your bike suffers from this and you need to get it checked out, because as I say, the suspension on other bikes I've ridden is completely different to this. So yeah, just a quick video, but I will be posting a follow-up video after the bike's gone in and checked it out. I'll follow it up whether it's my imagination or there was an issue with the swing arm bearings. I will follow this up with a video, and it'll be in 2 or 3 weeks time, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So yeah, that's it for this video. I just wanted to do a quick video, tell you about the issue I'm having, and hopefully we're going to get that resolved one way or the other, so keep your eyes peeled. I hope you liked that video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you could hit like, and I really appreciate it if you could hit subscribe, and be a part of this channel growing. I'm getting a lot of views on my channel and I'm trying to grow it, but I do need more subscribers, so if you could hit subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic, and hit that bell notification to be notified of any future videos I've got coming up, of which there are plenty. But in the meantime, I really appreciate you watching, taking the time out of your day to spend these few minutes with me. Yeah, as I say, it is really appreciated, and I hope to see you again in the near future for my future videos. But in the meantime, I just want to say thanks again, ride safe, stay safe, and I will catch you next time.